So 1 Million Cups has been around for several years now. We have chapters all over the U.S. And I think we're close to now over 180 cities that do this event every Wednesday morning. So so if you're in another city on a Wednesday, pretty much you can check and see if they have 1 Million Cups going on. And that means they'll do an event like this where you get to meet 2 business owners, 2 startup founders, enjoy some coffee, some great networking, and get to kind of get plugged into your local community of entrepreneurs and startups. And like awesome dogs, like this one back here. Okay, we have an app. So if you want to check in using the app on your smartphone, it's a free app called 1 Million Cups. And that basically lets you see all the companies that have ever presented here on the stage, and lets you also connect with your fellow attendees. So it's actually pretty handy for networking and making sure that you get a chance to follow up with anyone that you may not have gotten to meet here while you were here. And, oh, sorry, that was covered up. Hey, can you exit out of this? Anyways, yeah, no big deal. But today we have 2 startups that are going to present. And we have Martini Mover and we have KDSN Dekor. So we're excited to have them. And I also kind of blew through this, and we'll talk more about the sponsors that support this event about halfway through. But we do want to give a shout out to the deck, to Michael Brunner, who's not here today, but usually does our video and photography, and to Brazen, who's our coffee sponsor this month. So you'll hear more about them at the halfway point. And without further ado, we'll go ahead and bring on Jeff on stage from Current Source Designs. So let's all stand up and give him a warm welcome and round of applause. Woo! Right there! Yeah, we were joking earlier, 1 million cups of whatever you want.
Easy, careful. Don't spill. Watch it. Wondering about the martini. Now you gotta cut the server some slack. Martini glasses are inherently unforgiving. They spill, they slosh. The servers have to carry them one at a time, and really kind of have to tiptoe through the crowd. Now, surely there's a better way to present a better way to present and transport a $15 cocktail. Well, there is. And this is my product, the Martini Mover. Now, it would be a little bit more appealing if I was a good-looking server as opposed to a middle-aged engineer, but that's what I have to work with right now. So, I need my. So this is my product, Martini Mover. I have a patent. I applied for the patent last year. It'll grant sometime this year. And I would like, in the end market, the end user, which is middle volume bars and restaurants. And I don't want to be producing the product. I want to license the patent. So now, this year at the the Golden Globes, Spielberg and Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep are at the Golden Globes, and Spielberg goes, "Hey Hanks, go get us some martinis." So sure enough, there's Hanks and there's Spielberg, and now look how nervous and uptight Hanks is, because he knows that Spielberg doesn't like the top half inch of his drink missing, like the rest of Western society. So now Hanks is the most nervous ever, and I know that because the very next day on Ellen's show, he says, "Never been more nervous carrying martini trays." So it would have been nice had Hanks had a martini mover. There's 3 up. That's what I call 6 up also, so you can here's 3, and there's 6, and easily move 6 and 3. These can be on also. And there you go. Great product, moves it, they don't spill. And my remote, here it is. So basically, bars we look at, there's shrinkage of the inventory, and high on the list is spillage. That's the takeaway from that. Now the attributes of the product, it's pretty straightforward. It gets the drinks there, customers swiftly. That's great. Reduces spillage, and you're not remaking drinks. So if you're remaking drinks here, you're going to miss a round of drinks over here. So by the end of the month, that's important. You're losing money. Presents with pizzazz. Yes, it looks great. It's nicer to have your drink arriving still sparkling from the bartender's shaker. It attracts attention. There's a couple things going on here. Who here has worked in a bar before? Well, we appreciate your service to our country. So, like Ellen, you guys people who've been in a bar probably have what I call, you have your own version of what I call the strawberry daiquiri effect. So if early evening you send a strawberry daiquiri over into this corner of the bar, all night long, strawberry daiquiris are going to go into that corner. So people see the product, and so say, sir, you're ready for your order your drink. You say, yeah. Well, what were those blue drinks over there? Well, the blue drinks over there are special. Our Katie Trail vodka special. It goes on for another hour. Here's the drink special here tonight. So it advertises. It gets people's attention. Advertises the product of your drinks, your restaurant, and your specials. And that's pretty much this last. That's kind of tied into. Also, they have the message plate does all kind of special advertising. So there's some costing, pretty straightforward. There's a heavy straightforward. Sir? So I am looking for help with marketing. If someone can get me to someone that wants to license a product, great. I want to talk with you. Beyond that, we want to market. We are marketing for just to soften up the sale. So right now we're hosting events, which I'll get to that in a second. Hosting events, we can come to a bar at 311 actually, and take social media. That's what we need to get a nice database of a lot of photos of the product, people having fun, and hopefully that will soften up, demonstrate the market, soften up the sales. Appreciate your time. As a group, and each of you, again, if you have an in for me to get this product license, it could be a vodka manufacturer or a bar products manufacturer, that'd be great. That's kind of what we're looking for ultimately, is to get the product license, get the patent license. And input on marketing, right now we're going through events. We think that's the way to go. That'll soften up our sales market, our licensing market. So beta sites, right now I have two beta sites. One of them is right downstairs at 311. If anyone knows of bars that are looking, we're open to something like this, that's great. I can be available for, the product can be available for events. It works well. And I know this is a tall request for a bunch of entrepreneurs, but please come to events, bring your friends, and drink as much as you can, or order as many cocktails as you can. And it'd be good to have a designated photographer, because I want the photos on social media. And Yeah, side note, yes, remember Uber, that'd be nice. If I'm pushing drinks, I should also push Uber. So that's what I'm looking for. Sir?
I'm curious about, all right, it's a great product, I like the product. I'm really curious about your light up signs.
Right.
So that's part of the display and part of the presentation. Give us a little more about that, please.
Well, yeah, that was kind of, not a side note, it's on the patent, just like right before the patent, like, oh, we should do this message plate here. And it's kind of evolved into secondary product, or maybe support product, but you can put anything you want to though. And these are dry erase fluorescent markers, look pretty nice. This, I'm talking about 311 downstairs. Do we want something on the table like that? It looks like it'd be fine. It'd work. It has its place. Now it could either be tabletop or it could be behind the bar or up front at the reception desk. Whatever. This product's going to still evolve, but that's it. It's real flexible. I made this last week. Both these a week ago. These weren't around. So we can change the design, change the shape, change the. This plate can be etched with the camera ready artwork, or this is you can do it on the fly. You put Jane's birthday party table here, anything like that. You can just slap it on here and come through the crowd here. If your special changes, just take your dry erase, wipe it off, rewrite it. Looks good. Thank you. Hello.
Do you have ambassadors or any millennials that are involved?
Do I have? I'm sorry. Do I have the?
Like any ambassadors? Are you looking to find ambassadors?
No. I'm not sure what you mean by ambassadors, but I like where you're going with that. I like the idea of an ambassador. I like
You're
input.
thinking just maybe a demographic. Like what's your target market and maybe a millennial type?
Getting a millennial involved would be great.
And your market.
Was this inspired by the Tom Hanks thing, for real, or did that come after?
No, it came after. My poor parents on the phone, emails, text, Jeff, you gotta do this, and that was I was well into this. Just happenstance. Yeah, it was. I mean, you can see why they're going crazy because literally they were sitting there describing the need for this product, and so so I contact them as much as I can. But I didn't get on the Ellen show. Instead, I got on the Isabel show. So I'm happy to be here.
That's what I was going to try to get Tom. I don't know personally, but if I did, I'd give you.
I could use some help with marketing in that area also. If you can get me on Ellen's show, I'd appreciate you. I'm going to talk to you afterwards, right away.
Yeah, he came up with a good. You should just be sending him out a box and say, Tom, we made the solution for you. Before and after or something.
Right.
If you can get him to do any sort of endorsement, it might be a nice little thing.
Great idea. I appreciate it. Work it for me, and I'll be able to do it. Great.
Hi, Jeff. Can you tell us a little bit about the profit margin and sort of give us a little bit about how this is a business that you can?
It's so volume sensitive. Unlike I could not produce these and sell them for under $200. Actually, just three of them. But it's so. These are 3D printed, the plastic is, but as soon as you get injection molded, because that's changed a lot. It used to be it's $30,000 gets you the simplest injection mold, and that was 20, 30 years ago. Now you can get for $2,000, you can get 20 hits or 20,000 hits off an injection molded tool. So,
Yeah. Can we?
wow.
That's
Great.
why I
It's all volume sensitive, and it's changed a little bit. It's easier to produce cheaply in lower numbers, but it really depends on like anything else. It depends on how many what your commitment is, how many you want to make. I could produce 100 of these, and if the selling price here is, if I can sell these for $200, then great. I mean, they cost about $100 to make each. But again, I don't want to be doing that. I don't want to be getting excited over selling 3 or 4. I want to be excited about selling, licensing the whole pack. Yeah, 1,000. You're going to justify, $10,000 worth of tooling, and then the price for all the plastic parts goes down to $4 or something. Really cheap. So it's better than it used to be in medium volumes, but it's still very, it's volume sensitive. Sir?
Is there a possibility for an adaptation to move any other kind of glass, maybe something that's more high volume than martinis, like beer glasses?
Yeah, the beer doesn't work as well. Yeah, I've tightened up the holes. The wine works well, and margaritas work well. In Texas, you need margaritas. They work fine with that. Beer is a little bit different market. You go to any craft beer website, and the first picture is a beer glass with the beer sloshing like this. Like, hey, half the fun of having beer is spilling it all over the place. Well, it's kind of hard to sell something that guarantees no spillage when you're showing this is the fun part. So, but yeah, if someone wants to buy things for beer and they want to redesign for beer, I'm interested. Also, a cute thing would be to have the shaker here, so then you have a table side, 2 martini glasses with a shaker right there. You bring it there, and shake it table side, pour it table side. That'd be pretty fun.
So very cool concept. The one question I'd ask is, what did you do in your patent that kind of gives you some level of, keeps somebody else from coming in and doing the same thing?
It's a design patent. I mean, it's 2-page design patents. It took like 2 pages. This is what it looks like. This is what it does. There was nothing really utility-wise that my patent attorney thought we could cover. And he was a pretty sharp guy, so we feel comfortable with the design patent. This is what it looks like. This is what it does. Pretty broad, which is good.
Is there competition right now?
There are some similar products. They don't light. They don't have the message plate. I've seen some for they carry wine. I've seen it in bars, wine bars. They have a simple wire carrier. It works. It's totally functional. It's not cool and sexy, or it doesn't help in advertising. But I guess that would be my closest competition as I understand it.
Hi. Do you currently have any inventory? Or is it just
I have 10 sets. This is 3 up, 6 up. I have 10 of these. I'm gearing them towards beta sites. That was my thought with those. And I have 2 beta sites allocated right now. Which I want to which I want to say, next Friday, the 5th, 311 has a grand opening, and the Katy Trail Vodka is releasing a new flavor. So there is an event next Friday. Man.
So have you been pounding the pavement trying to do sales? Have you thought of spending time in Vegas and just, that seems like the perfect resort?
My marketing, my pounding pavement my goal is to soften up the market of the person that wants to license a product. I want to keep this a part-time job. I have a full-time job. I want to keep do my engineering work on the side, and I don't want to get excited over selling 3, 5, 6. You know, I want to get excited about licensing the patent and getting it off my plate and saying that was fun, and moving on to doing the other things that are fun for me, which is designing and getting the product to prototyping. Being a producer, manufacturer, I've done it before. It is fun, but a whole lot of it's not fun. So I really like to stick with what I like doing.
So what's one thing you can tell us you've learned along the way?
Oh, I'm sorry.
One thing that you've learned along the way as you were creating this?
Well, I learned 3D printing. You know, last year I didn't know how to 3D print, and I really need to pick that up. So I did. I worked with it, and I'm real fluent with that, and I can solder much better than I used to. Not too proud of that. I don't like doing things by hand, but that, you know, I'm a pretty good solderer right now. I've learned that social media is really, really important. I mean, bars, that they tell their people, whether they do it or not, they tell people, their employees, you need to put the social media time in. You take the pictures of people having fun and post it, and that is part of their job, their responsibility. So that worked right into an integral part of my marketing is getting social media, getting the photos out there, and you know, it's free advertising, but it's an important part of advertising. It's an important part of ours life cycle is social media. So that was not sobering. I was awakened to that social media is important.
And one more question.
So who are you thinking you'd want to license or sell that license to? Is it the vodka companies? Is it Brinkers, the big big restaurant chain? What are you thinking there? A bar chain?
Initially, I would think a spirits manufacturer with deep pockets would be interested. Maybe they would want to license. They probably still wouldn't be the producer. The prime target, it would be a manufacturer that also produces other bar products. And there's, I don't know how many there are, but that would be great because they have the same sales force, they have the same engineering staff, they know what metals like to produce, they know electronics, you know, and it goes right into their website. That would be the best. That would be the prime target.
All right, that's all the time we have for questions. Thank you so much to Jeff. Let's give him another round.
Thank you very much.
All right, and while we are resetting the stage, I want to give some shout outs, like I said, to our gracious sponsors. So we have, again, Michael Bruner, who does our video and photography. Thank you to... Oh, there's not actual martinis in them. Thank you. Okay. And thank you to the Dallas Entrepreneur Center, which is where we are today. They're our venue sponsor. And they do offer free co-working on Wednesdays. So if you want to stick around after the event, set up shop at one of these desks back here, you're totally welcome to. We have Brazen DFW, who I'm going to bring up in just a minute, and High Brew Coffee, as well as Kurt 2. And just real quick, I want to give a special birthday shout out to Gigi, who's on our team. Happy birthday to Gigi. Yeah, we'll skip the singing today because y'all just don't want to hear that. Trust me, it's not going to be good. And with that, I'll bring up Jasmine from Brazen. She's going to talk a little bit about her company. Let's give her a round of applause.
Hi, everybody. I think this is my last day. Brazen has sponsored this month and it's been really exciting. So I'm actually the CEO of Launch DFW. I've started several companies, but my current role is at Launch DFW, and I was excited to help Jennifer Elan, the CEO of Brazen Global, which actually just launched yesterday. That's actually why my voice is low, and I've had Chinese food for breakfast this morning. It's been crazy 24 hours, but it's exciting. Brazen is actually a membership organization, but really the exciting part of it is it's a business-first approach for women connected to one another. So our mission, honestly, is to not only expand the amount of female CEOs that are here in Texas, but to actually scale and grow. One of the problems I've seen over the last 10 years is a lot of the networking groups are very social focused. And I love to get my cocktail martini on, but when you actually have payroll, you've actually got our clients, and you've got rent, you actually need the tools and the network to move your company forward. And Brazen was the first organization I have ever actually come across that actually has a business-first approach, and they do it in a really fun, stylish way. And so Brazen Dallas-Fort Worth just launched yesterday. Actually, Brazen in 6 other cities launched yesterday: Philly, Chicago, Detroit, St. Louis, Denver. And so the good thing is when you join Brazen, not only do you get access to all the events, which the events are very business-focused. One of the cool events we have coming up is How to Acquire Your Competition, which I've never seen that at any women's event. But also having access to this kind of global network. So the CEO here in Texas can also access a CEO in Detroit or Chicago or Philly, which I think is really cool and is done in a really affordable way. So I'll be hanging out here, getting caffeinated in the back, so feel free to come up. If you have questions on it, we're looking, of course, to connect with more women, but we actually need guys as well. We need you to support what we're doing. It's going to take all of us to actually move the needle forward. We do have a big launch event in June. We've got 2. We've got June 5th is the Dallas launch event, and June 12th is in Fort Worth. That's how many women we have and so many successful things going on. So it's brazendfw.com if you want to check it out, but I'll be in the back if you have questions. Thanks.
All right, and now I'll bring up our second presenter today, which is Water Lily Zen. And you guys might also recognize him. He's one of our 1 Million Cups team members as well. So yeah, let's give another round for Sagar, and let's welcome him up onto the stage.
Good morning, everyone. I know I just got 6 minutes. I've been told like 4 or 5 or 10 minutes. I only have 6 minutes. So I'm still a student at the University of Dallas, and so it's a very basic business model. So there will be less talks of business, but a lot of storytelling, as far as I can say. So starting with the problem we just saw was the whole manufacturing industry and the import industry, how the home decor and everything's working in the United States, or not just United States, all across the world, is there's one big retailer, he has certain merchandisers that they go forward to overseas where labor costs cheap, so precisely China, Turkey, India, or Mexico, you can say that. So there are different agents, so it all creates a multi-level manufacturing or distribution supply chain model, and each level has its own percentage cut. So until the time a product comes to the United States, it's way overpriced. And I know that because I've been one of the manufacturers in India, and I have been actually manufacturing for a company who actually exported the products to Tier 1. So that was the pain points over here. So the first was there's no one point of source. Like, you could actually see that, and a few of my clients have also told me, like, or you can have also realized, if you want to hire a market to buy something, you have people actually like to actually talk to someone who could actually demonstrate the product to them, show them the product, instead of just talking on WhatsApp and giving them a big order without even actually seeing the product. So there was a gap, there was no single distribution, and there was a little knowledge, and there was a historic perception to actually import, you need a lot of capital, but just to start a business though, you require a lot of capital. So here's where opportunity comes in. So we have a whole, what I'm trying to do is change the whole supply chain model, which is horizontally linear in different layers, to actually vertical, where I actually go and bear all the risk of the whole supply chain management. And in the United States, for people, you actually have one point of contact you could actually talk to, see the product, read the product, let me know what are your requirements, and I would actually go back and deal with them. So we're based out of Dallas, a wholesale hub for for imported Indian textile decor, who are suppliers and US retailers, who are the businesses over there. So that's the main vision of KDSN Dekor Mart. So we actually segregated my visions in 3 different parts. So which is for businesses is becoming a single go-to distribution source or a hub for Indian textile decor. So if you're a business, you can actually come to me directly, tell me your requirements. I can actually go back, work with the manufacturers and let me know is that possible or not. For economy, we are actually trying to generate flexible employment and other business opportunities. So this is going to come later in the stage where I want to help I wouldn't say I want to help, I would say like empower small household people. Like, it's a whole page from a business which was actually started in India was leave your jobs and start your own businesses. So where I could actually help them actually start their own online stores, get the samples or dropshipping model incorporated with that. So people would actually have an opportunity just to invest $500 and you will be having your own businesses up on the ground. And for the community, bringing back the confidence and the morale. So as you know, about 60% of people in the United States they buy from Walmart, and I do not like to comment on the quality or even on that. So when you go to the houses, it will be like you're actually wow. Or when you go to the model house or you market to buy one, you'll see the furniture and the decor there, and wow, there's a wow factor regarding that. So I'm actually giving people here the best quality products at the cheapest price available. So this is the whole business model. It's kind of a nodal structure where I'm just dealing with each and every node. So on my right-hand side, I have the manufacturers. So the suppliers back home in India, and these are not the big suppliers. So these are small manufacturers in the villages. They produce one product once a week, but they're constantly manufacturing. And on the right side are the resellers. And so the profit margins, there's no one more on the left. So the profit margins on the reseller side is 80 to 150% per lead. But if I go into the retail side, it's over 300%. These are the few of the products which I'm getting in. I'm getting into the rugs and handmade products only. And this is the stuff which I learned to make myself. And some of my testimonials from the different products. That's my team. It's me, my dad, and my girl.
So the first question, what can we as a community do for you?
Well, at this point of the time, all I require is actually help in the connections with different retailers or even as was told. So my company is KDSN Dekor Mart. That's the wholesale side. I have a retail side which is just working with the retail and the online market, online retail side, which is one of these, and that's a for me. So if you could just use that social media handle and just help us promote, that would be awesome.
Hey, morning, Sagar. It's Michael. Hey, so speaking of retailers then, who are some of your top targets that you'd love to get them to say, yeah, we need you, and how are they doing it today? And the value, I want to be clear on the value proposition you bring to them, like a world market or Pier 1, or wonder what you're thinking, and how you can really have a compelling value proposition for them. Thanks.
So when it comes to retailers or the resellers in the United States, my target go-to-market is people who just have a couple of stores, not more than 3 stores in the United States, and they have an annual revenue of less than $500,000. That's because when you actually go about buying a whole shipment from India or importing from anywhere, you have to buy in bulk, which is a 20-feet or 40-feet container. On an average, which 20-feet costs $30,000, and on average a 40-feet container was costing you like $50,000 to $60,000. So for them, my main biggest proposition is they don't need to invest thousands of dollars. Or even if you go to wholesalers over here, they $5,000 or $10,000. I'm just telling them, keep my products in your store. If you sell someone, I'll get you more.
Where do you see your company in the next 5 years?
So we started with rugs, handmade products precisely. So the next step would be getting lighting and getting all the aspects of home decoration and furnishing. And with that, so KDSN Dekor Mart will be dealing with furnishing. But in the next 5 years, you'll be seeing KDSN brand name in multiple industries. And let me just extend that question forward, and in 10 to 15 years, KDSN will be competing with Berkshire Hathaway directly.
What are some of the struggles that you're facing with your industry right now?
So the main struggle with my industry is considering my whole industry, I'm the youngest person involved in this industry. So the average age of my industry is 40, 45. And it's a very old school business model. A lot of youngsters are going to take with 40 to 45 years of age. Yeah. So I'm actually half of their age.
So I've got a question. So you're going to drop ship these items to individuals that are selling them, basically, or outside sales force, essentially. Is that correct?
Yes.
How do you overcome the expensive shipping costs that, if you're shipping one chair versus a whole container full of chairs, you're gonna pay probably more than the cost of the chair and shipping.
Yeah, so that's all included in my pricing, and after the shipping is included, I'm still having almost 100% profit margins on my products. You go into the market, you get a rug, you get that rug for at least $150. On my website, that same rug is for $60, including the shipping. Yeah, you can. So the website is bottleeasy.com. That's a retail site.
I know there's a large Indian community in Dallas. Have you been vocal within, I don't know, a group of people, not necessarily entrepreneurs, but just seeing what they think about the idea?
Yes. So not precisely with the Indian community. So one of my mentors, I was just discussing this business model with her. So she was the first one to be excited about that, and she actually invested $25,000 into the business. And later on, I went to one of the investment vice president of Jeffries in New York, and he was actually talking to me about how the business model is going, what you actually want to do. And it was like, the one advice which I've gotten from everyone is be patient for a couple of years, and it's going to be a $1 billion business.
I thought you had a sample of your rug here today.
I do.
Okay.
I just didn't want to get all the props coming on.
Oh, yeah, you should bring it. You're here to present. Let's see your rug. Yeah, let's see it. The visual really stands out versus seeing it on the big screen there. So I think it's good if you can roll that out for us. Can you tell us a little bit maybe about the fabric, what is this, why is this textile better than some of the others that are out there?
Yeah, so this is one of the main products which I'm actually quite unique at. So it's one of the thinnest rug, made out of hand, cotton, and the printing also is done by hand. So everything is handcrafted and manufactured, 100% cotton. That's the main product differentiator for me, because 80% of the rugs in the market that one are actually synthetic made rugs, and that's not good for the market. or the environment.
And how do you plan to be able to scale your business if you're going to be $1 billion business? Is it, can you actually get your manufacturers that you have the contacts with now to build that, to manufacture that much product, or do you have to scale it yourself to bring in a lot more manufacturers?
Well, for that, like the scalable part, I personally feel this model is almost self-sustainable because you already have loads manufacturing in India and you have reseller nodes. They're actually doing the sales part for me. So if I have to scale up, setting up a manufacturing facility in India is not a big thing, but I don't want to go into that. I just want to get the people in India the chance of employment and handcraft things. So that's it.
From the consumer side of things, when someone purchases one of your products, do they know who made it? Like, is there a focus at all on the individual maker?
So there's not a focus on the individual maker because these are manufactured by over hundreds of artisans, and over 100 of artisans. This particular rug was made in 7 days by 2 people from my home village.
I think that's really cool to know, like from a customer side of things. I think that's a really interesting part of the story. To know that 2 people made that in 7 days, that's so cool. I feel like that's a really differentiating factor that make me want to buy it more than just like something off it.
Thank you. We're just about to receive ISO certificates and the Dekor certificates as well. So we're paying them.
Yeah, I was going to say something like that. I love the story behind it. I think that's half the sell, right? Because there's more of a personal connection, right? Because I can go on Amazon and find a sweet rug and get it in 2 days, but it doesn't have a story here. And you're going to have trouble competing with their margins because you're Maverick, but they're going to figure it out. They're really good at that. So my question would be, how quickly can I get a rug from you that's handmade? You said it's made in, 6 days or so? Pretty quickly, but how quickly can I get it?
Yes.
I want to get that in my living room tonight. That's my question.
Yeah, so I already have 3,000 products in my storage unit right now. 3,000 units and 70 different designs.
Are those stateside or in India?
In Dallas.
Okay.
So they're still in my warehouse, and the second round of manufacturing is still underway. So for now, I'm actually going on with my personal designs.
Gotcha. So that's how you cut down your shipping costs. Is you've already pre-shipped everything, then you bake it into the cost. So it's not made to order.
No. So if someone wants to make to order, it's going to take them almost 2 months.
Awesome. That's helpful.
So there was a question about drop shipping earlier. I want to ask about drop shipping as well. If somebody wants to create a business or has a business online and they're looking to connect with you so that they can then resell this, how can they find you? Like, do you have you built a network? I'm just wondering, how can someone find you if they want to use you as a sort of a supplier?
Well, on that I'm still working on. So with my school and everything, going on door-to-door marketing myself.
Okay, but you're welcoming that?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
So for a person who just wants to start their online business or they already have that, all they need is a couple of photographs of these rugs and post them online.
And then trust you that you
Yeah.
will ship it.
Thank you.
All right, I'm launching my modeling career, so if anybody needs me to model products, let me know. Just kidding. Let's give it up for both of our presenters. They both did a great job. And again, thank you to all of our sponsors, especially Brazen, who's getting our coffee for us this month. Thank you again. We have two other announcements. One is that we have a new local chapter that's starting up in Madison. And some of you may have met Rachel, I don't know if she's here today, but she's now starting the Addison chapter of 1 Million Cups. Other Rachel. But yeah, so if you're up in that area, you want to check out this event in Addison. I don't know the exact venue. It's on the website, yeah, 1millioncups.com, and then you can search and pick Addison and kind of see their schedule and their startups. And then we also have a quick announcement from a new organization that's visiting us today from St. Louis. It's called the Business Credit Literacy Initiative. And Chris, right? So Chris is going to come up and tell us a little bit about that. It's a new way to get funding for your new business. So we thought it'd be great for him to share a little bit about that.
We called the Kansas City office of 1 Million Cups, and I think after the Dallas branch, I went to Addison's last week, they tell me that it's not going to start till the 9th of May. Wasted money. But anyway, I represent this company. It's a nonprofit organization in St. Louis, Missouri. It has one function. It's to teach entrepreneurs how to start or build a business. They have an educational program which is funded by the FDIC and the Small Business Administration with one purpose, to get people, entrepreneurs, educated so they can build their business. If they go through the process and they complete the process, they are guaranteed at least $100,000 in funding. Very, very simple, very, very straightforward. There is a small cost to get started. It's $99 one time. If you don't like it, you get your money back. Anyway, I've got a bunch of flyers here that give you some basic information. Please look that over. If it's of interest, give me a call. We can meet individually and I can give you a little more information. Do I look like I'm an age limit? I mean, no, there is not. And there's no industry limitations. It also works for nonprofit. So, anyway, I just go at that. Okay, my name is Chris Lyons with Instar Network.
That kind of wraps it up for our show today. Thank you, Chris. And so we love that. Again, if you're new here, that's kind of what we're all about, is bringing resources together for entrepreneurs in the community. So thank you again for coming out today. If you're on social media, we posted some videos from today as well. So you can check those out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Hey, you guys saw it live. So yeah, that's good. All right, thank you guys for coming out. See you next week.